Welcome in. This is Ricky Reacts. This is where Dylan McKinnon makes up questions that I have no idea what they are. And they don't have to be about sports, but if they are, I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And I'm going to tell you right now, there may be something I don't know, and I may BS my way through it as much as I possibly can. But I want you to like and subscribe over here. Also, you can catch myself, Savannah Kelleher, and Bill Colarulo on Unfiltered. Make the switch today. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. Dylan, you are up.
Okay. This first question is probably going to make you a bit upset.
Uh-oh.
Our buddy John Kincaid recently got to live out his dream on a game show. What game show would you most want to be on?
Wheel of Fortune. I think it's pretty obvious. I can't. In all honesty, I can't stand The Price is Right. And quite frankly, I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing about it. So it's just one of those things where, I mean, you know, the one with the whammies wouldn't be bad either.
Press your luck.
Yeah, Press Your Luck wouldn't be bad. That's fun, but I feel like it's kind of fixed. I mean, in a sense that you're hitting a button. Yeah. How do you know somebody's not back there going, watch, we're going to give them whammy, yeah. watch, whammy, and then you're mad. So I mean that's I guess if I wanted to have like mixed feelings, I think Press Your Luck would be the one I went on. Plus the hostess is hot. She's kind of hot. So
there's a guy
but I still think Wheel of Fortune. At least you're just spinning a wheel and guessing letters.
There was a guy back in the day who figured out how to break Press Your Luck.
An algorithm, right, for it. Yeah.
But then he lost all his money because he didn't trust banks or something. Left his cash out. And someone broke into his house and took it.
That's not a good move, pal. I mean, come on, dude. You know, you're working on algorithms and you don't know to put away your money?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Let's go.
Okay, next question. It sounds like we're getting baseball expansion soon. We're going to get 2 new teams. Which cities most deserve a baseball team?
I'm going to say this. I know I played minor league baseball in a couple cities, I believe. I think Portland, Oregon is one. I think it would be good for the West and the Northwest, and it adds a team up there near Seattle. So I think that would be pretty good up there. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they go to British British Columbia. That wouldn't surprise me either. Nashville's definitely going to get a team. I think they're a lock-in. I know a lot of people are saying Charlotte. I'm not buying into Charlotte, okay? Played minor league baseball there. They never drew. It's hot as can be in the summer. It's humid down there in the summer. Well, so is it Nashville, but I don't know what kind of stadium they're building down there. But one way or the other, I think there's definitely going to be some teams down in the central part of the Eastern Coast. And Oklahoma City would be my other one. They draw for everything. Whatever you bring in there. I remember we had like 15,000 at a AAA game there. So it's just one of those things where certain areas definitely are more apt to bring in people than others. But I think those cities are all worth looking into.
And what do you think about the potential realignment? There's been some people suggesting it would be like Phillies, Yankees, Mets, Red Sox all in the same division.
All right, let's start with this. I think it's awesome. But there's something that has to go along with it, a little caveat, if you will. I believe they have to go back to the old school way of playing, where you play your division a bunch of times. Because I think when you play your division, you make rivalries. And if you're starting up a new construction of the leagues, I think you almost have to do that. You almost have to go back to that. And I believe it's going to be it looks like 4 leagues in the East and 4 leagues in the West, basically, or however you want to put it. So there's 8 divisions. I think, number one, 2 wild cards on each side, and then the 4 division winners all go to the playoffs. But my whole theory, if you're going to put the Red Sox, Yankees, Mets, and Phillies in a division, you have to be able to let them play against each other a lot during the season. So at first, when I came up, when there was no interleague play, I thought it was, look, I was no different than anybody else. I wanted to play in all the stadiums. You want to go to all the stadiums. You want to see all the stadiums. You want to go to different cities. I get that whole part. But I think it becomes more of a quote-unquote World Series if you spread them apart again and you make it almost like you don't have to call it American and National League, call it whatever you will. But I think what you would do there is that you would have a lot more rivalry going on in baseball. I mean, you see it now. They're down to 13 games in their own division. That's not doing anything. I think you go back up to 16, 17 games in your division, it makes for a lot more rivalries. And if you're trying to cut down the travel, wouldn't that be the best way to do it? That, you play your teams in your division. You're talking about going to New York twice and Boston, all like an hour or less flights or train ride. I mean, it's just one of those things and I think you get your home team fans involved a little bit more that way. Reason I say that is that it's easy travel. I mean, you want to go see the Phillies and you want to go see them at Yankee Stadium. You want to go see them at Citi Field. You want to go see them at Fenway Park. It makes it that much easier throughout the season to go and do it because there's a lot more select dates that you can go. The divisions that would be a tough division for the Phillies. I mean, you think about the Yankees, they're spenders. The Red Sox can be spenders at times. The Mets are big time spenders right now, and the Phillies are big time spenders. So it's just one of those things where I would love it as long as they make it a rivalry league, not just we're going to play the regular amount of games and then, you just go on and travel all over the country again. I don't like that.
Okay, I think I know the answer to this, but which defunct pro team would you bring back?
The Hartford Whalers. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm from Connecticut. Let me put it this way. I grew up in Connecticut. We didn't have pro sports teams. The only pro sports team was the New England Whalers, and they were in WHA to start, which was a professional league. But they moved into the NHL, and I mean, I couldn't even count how many games I actually went to when they were playing. And I love hockey. It was a bummer when they left Hartford. Let me put it this way: Hartford, especially in the winter when they were playing, was always hopping down there. There were always people down there. All the restaurants were packed. All the bars were packed. And then all of a sudden, when they left, it turned into a deserted town. So it's interesting what a professional sports team does to a city. But yeah, I would have to bring back the mighty Whale. Come on, who else did you think I would answer? Had to be the Whale.
I assumed as much. Okay, so there was recently a viral story about tipping. We're not going to get into all the particulars because they get kind of messy, but how much would you tip on a check that's $17? And just for reference, 20% would be $3.40, exactly $3.40.
In all honesty, I'd probably give $5. Yeah. I think most people would pay up to 20. Yeah. Like I think they would, especially if they're using cash. I think they would just pay the $20 and walk out. Yeah. But most people pay with cards now, so that doesn't really matter. And I think I would leave $5. I think that's right, especially on a bill as small as that. I mean, it depends on what I'm getting. If I'm getting beers, I mean, let me put it this way: if I get one beer, I'll give $1 for each beer. So whatever I'm paying for the beers, unless you're in New York City, I think they should give you $1 back for each beer you drink because that might be the biggest rip-off city in the country. And it really depends on what you're eating. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if I go to a nice steakhouse and they do everything perfect, I'll give a 35% tip. But, I mean, that's being genuine.
Yeah, the person in the story, it was a $17 check. They paid in cash. They gave exactly $3.40, which is exactly 20%. So they put the quarter, the dime, and the nickel down instead of just rounding up and giving an extra
$4. Come on. See, that's selfish is what it is. Unless you really can't afford it. There are people out there that can't afford it.
This person could probably afford it. They're a politician.
I'm thinking certain people can afford it. I mean, we've heard all the... You know what's funny? We hear a lot about people that don't tip. How about the people that do? I mean, we see those once in a while that somebody will run up like a $10,000 tab and leave like $5,000. I mean... You rarely hear that. You know why? Because it's something good. All you hear on social media is bad things all the time.
Yeah. Final question. We'll soon see the return of the iconic NBA on NBC theme, Round Ball Rock. What is your favorite sports theme of all time?
Of all time?
It could be something that's defunct.
There's two. I have two. I think one of them is the Monday Night Football. The dun 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 dun. There's nothing better than hearing that song and your heart starts beating like crazy and you get all. It's a fire up song. So I think the Monday Night Football theme is definitely one of them. I'm not really into the country part of that. The Carrie Underwood, no thank you. I like the old school theme. And the other one is the This Week in Baseball one. It was on a long time ago when I was a kid, and I used to kind of get into it every Saturday morning. I would watch that show, and there was something about that theme that kind of was a little bit catchy, and I always liked. But those are definitely my top two. The rest, I could give or take. I mean, that's just how it goes. They all they should do for Monday Night Football is play that theme song and then just roll into the open. That's what I think they should do. All right, there you have it. Ricky Reacts. Subscribe, like, right over here. Also, Savannah Kelleher, myself, and Bill Colarulo. Unfiltered, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and NBC Sports, Philadelphia.
What's up, everybody? It's Bill Colarulo from Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we post a ton of content. It's not just what you hear on air. We're posting content all day long. We do some things before the show, after the show, even stuff during the show. So subscribe, like, do whatever you got to do. We got all this content coming to you every single day.